Hi everybody, Martyn at Flicking Feathers again today, and I'm tying the Thom green leech. It's a super effective fly. It's very easy to tie, but it catches fish like crazy. Trout, bass, anything will eat this. As always, I'll put a materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page for anybody who wants to support the channel, get access to the members only content, monthly fly tying classes, and enter the giveaways. You can also subscribe, hit the bell button, like the channel, like the video. That all helps the channel to grow. So I've got my hook here. This is a 3x long, size 6. It's a Tiemco 5263, and I've just got it my pliers just at the midpoint of the shank, and I'm just going to bend, put about a 30-degree bend in it, right, to bend that up there. You can use your pliers, you can use your vise, and then I'm going to lead it with O2 OLED wire on this size, but up to yourself. You can go heavier, you can go lighter, and I'm going to have the lead on the rear portion, right, of the bent shank, about 10 wraps. But again, you can adjust it, but keep it in the back half. This is what makes it swim. And then I'm going to start my thread. I'm just using black. This is 140 UTC, but any black thread will do. So just trap that lead so it doesn't move around. There we go. I'm ready for the tail, and I'm using just a Marabou. It's just I'm going to use a blood quill, and I want something that's quite wispy. I don't want it to be too thick and fuzzy. And then I like to come in, and then where the feather barb starts shortening, I'll pinch out the tip. Right, so that gives me a nice, it'll give me a nice sort of tapered tail, and it will not be too heavy. Length of the tail should be like just over the hook length, I think, right? Like a shank and a half or a hook and a quarter, something like that. I don't want to pinch the tail later, right? So I want to measure it and get it right, because I like that taper that you get from the pinching out the middle of the blood quill. Now I'm just going to take my thread forward and tie this off, and this sort of helps even out the underbody, rather than having a hump where the lead is. I mean, it's not perfect, but it makes it easier when you go to dub. I'm going to add a wee bit of flash. I'm just going to get 2 strands of ice blue crystal flash. Although it's up to yourself, you don't need it if you don't want it. But I would say if you do add flash, keep it sparse. Right, I'm going to put like 2 strands on my side. Fold it onto your side. And then I'm going to come in, I'll cut them at different lengths, and I want it to be within the length of the Marabou. I don't want the flash sticking out the back. And by cutting them at different lengths, it means the flash will stay separate and move better in the tail. So The body, you can use essentially anything you like. Yarn is popular. You could use that uni mohair or just ordinary wool, or dubbin, and I'm going to use dubbin, so that, and I'll give it a wee brush. Just putting a bit of cement there, just for a wee bit more durability in the fly. So I'm using here Angora goat, but any shaggy dubbin you like, it really doesn't matter. I like it not to be too shiny, but that's personal preference. So I'm going to start my dubbing, and I'll sort of tighten it at the back as I go to try to compensate for the build up of the lead, so that I can get a more or less even body all the way up, right? And I'll thicken the dubbing at this front end somewhat. Just getting a bit of build until I get to the front, and that's fine. Now I'll come in and I'll get a wee brush and sweep some of those fibres back. Again, this is just, it adds movement into the fly and helps that sort of overall taper, overall shape. I mean, remember, when the fly's in the water, it's going to basically have this appearance, but it'll be moving more, right? The water will support all these fibres and let them breathe. It doesn't slick down like it does when you take it out of the water. So at the front I'm going to just put a black hen hackle. I like quite a long hackle, but I've seen them tied with fairly short hackles as well. It's up to yourself. I just like that extra bit of movement from the longer hackle, but if you prefer the short hackle, that's what to tie in. Pinch that away. I'll just fold it and wind. And I mean, how much hackle do you want? It's up to yourself. I like a decent hackle because it's just movement. Don't like the way that's sitting, so we'll just go back, get another wee sweep, and usually it will sit the second time. That's better. And when you've got enough, which I have now, we'll fold that across and tie it in. Then I'll just fold that back, build on each head, snap it away, and then a whip finish or two. And your fly's done. A wee bit of varnish in the head, and you've got a deadly pattern. And soft weedy shallows, soft bottom weedy shallows, cast up onto the bank and just crawl this back out. Fish love it. So there you go. Hope that was useful. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to give me a thumbs up below, and I'll see you for another video. Headlines, guys. Bye.